Hi guys, I'm back. I hope you've been doing well. I know almost all of us have heard that we went back to Mondstadt, the OG, the beginning, my favorite region. It just gives us such a peaceful vibe and it's where I got my noelle. So when I heard about this, I was very happy. I do know some people were disappointed because they wanted to jump into Child's area, but soon. So hold your horses. Let's enjoy whatever is happening in Mondstadt. We'll be able to see Venti again. Maybe we'll learn some more information about him, see some of his true powers. I know some of you are happy to see Jean again on your screens. I had originally written the script way back, so if certain things did not happen when I say let's hope they happened, then just keep in mind this was written in the past. With us hopping back to the States, I wanted to make this video to showcase the monsters we have in that region and remind you of Mondstadt a bit. Genshin's been getting big and I like things characterized in separate areas for easier understanding, so if you're new to the game, this video would be helpful for you to get past Mondstadt and gain enough items and experience before you move on to another nation or region. Or if you're an old player, it doesn't hurt to brush up on a few things or to be reminded of some things. Maybe you'll even learn something that you didn't pay attention to before. Now also, by now you guys should know that I'm bad at names, so certain names are going to be botched or just placed on the screen. Okay, forgive me, it's one of my flaws, but I'm trying. So we're going to speak about Mondstadt itself a little, the characters who are from there and the monsters that belong there, their lore, what they drop. So let's jump right into it. Mondstadt. Mondstadt is one of the 7 regions of Teyvat, and the first in which the traveler starts to look for their lost sibling. It's where we start the game when we fish Paimon out of the water. This is a nation that worships Lord Albedo, or Venti, the anemo archon and god of freedom. They also worship Davlin, who is an elemental dragon born from pure anemo energy located in the high heavens, which Venti has befriended. Mondstadt consists of areas such as Bright Crown Mountains, Gale Song Hill, Starfell Valley, Windwhale Highlands, and Dragon Spine, and each area all has sub-areas within it, which each area also has a different soundtrack. These areas had an ancient civilization dwelling within them, doing their own thing. Mondstadt took inspiration from Germany and is currently famous for the Favonius Nights and Dawn Winery. Back in the day, the Lawrence clan became the most famous clan in Mondstadt and became the main rulers of the city, but they were evil, and I mean evil, corrupt to where they started enslaving others. Okay, clearly that's evil. They enslaved a girl named Vanessa from a different tribe with red hair, and she overthrew them and formed the Knights of Favonius. You can find out more about her here in my Celestial video. You can also find out more about that entire situation there in my Celestial video, so take a look at that. Now listen, Mondstadt has a lot of small random lures laying around. I might have to make another video about them. For instance, this is where the Scarlet Witch, who is in the fatui, this is where her origin story comes from. Even the delusion that the fatui uses has a mini lore in Mondstadt, so I'll make a separate video on that if you guys are interested. Maybe it'd just be all of Mondstadt's lores, or some, or just specifically the lore of Scarlet Witch or whatever else I could find. If you're interested in that, just tell me in the comments. So let's talk about the characters that are from Mondstadt. There are 257 NPCs who appear in Mondstadt while I'm making this video, or while I wrote this script, but I believe it is still the same. While we have 42 mentioned characters related to Mondstadt, all of that, but only 20 playable characters from Mondstadt and 1 related to Mondstadt. I'm probably going to say that a lot in this video, okay? So that 1 related character from Mondstadt is Thoma, but he lives in Inazuma. The playable ones in Mondstadt are as follows. First of all, we got Amber, the first person we met in the game. She's a pretty nice character, pretty nice person in the game, but she did catch a lot of heat when this game came out. She is kind of a joke at a time, but we're gonna look past all of that, okay? Because she's the OG, the number 1, the very first person that we met. Okay, so we're gonna have to give some credit. But she is a 4-star pyro bow user. She's the only remaining outrider of the Knights of Favonius. She's always ready to help the citizens of Mondstadt, just like her grandfather did, who she was deeply connected to and aims to follow in his footsteps. When I first met her, I was disappointed because she is a bow user, and since I can't shoot a bow, I had to let her go. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up. You're going to need these items to level up her talents. Now keep in mind the items that you'll need to do these things can be located in our guidebook to make things easier for you, but the items will not all be in one place. For instance, she needs the Everflame seed, but that item isn't found in Mondstadt from a Mondstadt monster. It's found in Leeway from a pyro, this guy. Here are 3 weapons that she's good with: the Skyward Harp, the Sharpshooter's Oath, and the Prototype Crescent. A popular and effective artifact set for Amber is the 4-piece Wanderer's Trope set. Barbara. She's a 4-star Catalyst Hydro user. She is the deaconess of the Church of Favonius and a prominent idol after learning about them from the interpret adventure Alice. I believe Alice is currently out right now doing her own thing in the story, or she is going to be out more prominent doing her thing in the story. I'm also very excited for her. She's not playable as yet, I believe, so I cannot include her in this video. I don't know if I should have waited a little bit until she came out to include her in this video, but like eventually I'm sure Genshin is gonna add some more people and I'll just make a separate video for that, so there might be a part 2 to this eventually. So back to Barbara. She's also the younger sister of the acting Grandmaster Jean. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. Here are 3 weapons that she's good with: Whirling Tales of Dragon Slayers, Prototype Amber, and Favonius Kodak. A popular and effective artifact set for Barbara is 4-piece Ocean-Hued Clam. Bennett. A 4-star pyro sword user. Bennett was originally from Natlan, discovered as a baby by an adventurer in a harsh region of Natlan. Though he spent his life being raised in Mondstadt's Adventurers Guild, his parents were Natlanese, and his connection to the region's ley lines was severed when he was left as an infant, which is believed to be the cause of his notorious bad luck. He is the one and only member of Bennett's adventure team because everyone left after seeing how unlucky he is. It's sad, but it's okay because in his own little misfortune, it works out for him in a weird, fortunate way. He's considered one of the strongest characters in Genshin, and he's also very loved. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talents. Here are 3 weapons that he's good with: the Sapwood Blade, the Favonius Sword, and the Skyward Blade. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the Noblish Oblige. Albedo. Albedo is supposed to be coming up with Alice in one of these trailers that I've seen, so we might get more information on him, and it seems as if he's tagging along her, which is also very interesting. We get to see more of him. He has been missing for a solid while from the storyline, from since he came out, so it's nice that he is, making a swing back. He is a 5-star Geo sword user. He is a synthetic human made by the alchemist Granddaughter. The mysterious Albedo is the chief alchemist and captain of an investigation team of the Knights of Favonians. He seems withdrawn on the surface but never hesitates to help you, no matter if you go way back or if he's just befriended you. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talent. Here are 3 weapons that he's good with: Cinnabar Spindle, the Primordial Jade Cutter, and the Skyward Blade. The popular artifacts set for him are the Noblish Oblige and Husk of Opulent Dreams. Diona. Diona is a 4-star cryo bow user. She's a bartender of the Cat's Tail. She loads alcohol and will stop at nothing to ruin Mondstadt's wine industry. A bit easier said than done when her patrons absolutely loves her drinks. I don't really have much more information on her. I'm not sure if she made a few appearances recently in the game, so you guys can tell me in the comments. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. Here are 3 weapons that she's good with: the Sacrificial Bow, the Favonius Warbow, and the Viridescent Hunt. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Maiden Beloved. Diluc. I don't think I've seen Diluc back into the story for a solid while. Correct me if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments, has he made any appearances for us? So Diluc is a 5-star Pyro Claymore character. He's from the Ragnarok clan, which is named after a guy who helped Vanessa overthrow the Lawrence clan back in the day. Diluc is the current owner of the Dawn Winery and a noble of high esteem in Mondstadt. While a past incident caused him to split ways with the Knights of Avonius, he continues to protect the city in his own way. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need to get your hands on these items to level up his talents. Here are 3 weapons that he's good with: the Wolf's Gravestone, the Skyward Pride, and the Prototype Archive. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the Crimson Witch of Flames. Eula. Eula is a 5-star Cryo Claymore user. Her full name is Eula Lawrence. So she's from the Lawrence clan that was being all evil back in the day, okay? Naturally, because of what it did to Mondstadt, the people ain't taking a liking to her. But, you know, not everybody's like their family, not everybody's like their family name, but people judge out there. So she has actually severed her ties with the clan, became the captain of the reconnaissance company with the Knights of Avonius. But naturally, the people of Mondstadt, even though she's in the Knights of Avonius, okay, even though she's there, the people of Mondstadt still assume she's no different from the clan since they're labeled as sinners, and they naturally just dislike her. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talent. Here are 3 weapons that she uses: the Wolf's Gravestone, the Unforged, and the Snow-Tombed Star Silver. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the Pale Flame. Klee, a tiny 5-star Pyro Catalyst. Love her. If she comes back, I'll definitely try and pull for her. I love her playstyle, I love her destructive personality, and how she just does it so cutely. So innocent-like. She's the daughter of the quite destructive as well adventurer Alice. Klee takes after her mother in many ways, much to the demise of the Knights of Avonius, whom she has been entrusted to. She's a little troublemaker, and it's cute, but she does it with a smile, living her best life. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need to get your hands on these items to level up her talent. Here are 3 weapons that she's good with: the Lost Prayer, 2, the Sacred Winds, Solar Pearl, and this one. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the Crimson Witch of Flames. Fischl, a 4-star bow user who has an electrovision. She is an investigator for the Mondstadt Adventurers Guild, accompanied by the Knight Raven Oz, a daring adventurer with seemingly outlandish theories that happen to turn out to be true. She claims to hail from a world beyond Tivat, but I don't know how much of that is true because she's sometimes in her fantasy land. But I do have to mention, she did make an appearance in Honkai Impact, so maybe she is telling the truth. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. Here are 3 weapons that she's good with: the Skyward Harp, the Stringless, and the Alley Hunter. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the Golden Trope. Kaeya. Kaeya is a 4-star cryo user. This is our mysterious guy. The first time I met him, I didn't know if I should take him seriously or not, but he was given shady, evil vibes, but people, especially elders, seem to love him. Kaeya is Diluc's adopted brother, and he currently serves as the cavalry captain of the Knights of Avonius. And he is trusted, I say trusted, by Jean. Jean's a smart woman, okay? So Jean trusts him, then we should too. He also has a bloodline that runs in Conria. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll also need these items to level up his talent. 3 weapons that he's good with are the Skyward Blade, the Favonius Sword, and the Iron Sting. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the Blizzard Strayer. Lisa. This is a 4-star Catalyst Electro character. She's a powerful mage recognized as the Sumeru's Academia's most distinguished graduate in 200 years, but she has since then returned to Mondstadt to become the humble librarian of the Favonius Knights. Also, I believe she is currently in a quest right now, or in the story right now, with the new dragon character, and she seems to be giving a very mothering vibe, a very supportive vibe, very nurturing vibe towards him. She's basically taken him under her wing. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. There are 3 weapons that she's good with: the Skyward Atlas, the Solar Pearl, and the Prototype Amber. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Thundering Fury. Mona, a 5-star Hydro Catalyst user. She's actually the first 5-star character I've ever pulled, so she holds a special place in my heart. An astrologist of knowledgeable skill and high pride, Mona has settled in Mondstadt to avoid suffering the ear of her master after unwittingly reading the latter's diary. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. Also, I'd like to point out, I don't think there is much more of Mona in this story. I don't think she's made an appearance for a while. I believe with Alice coming about that she might. I hope she does. Actually, I really hope she does. Okay, and the 3 weapons that she works good with is the Favonius Codex, this one, and the Mare. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, Noelle, a 4-star Geo Claymore user. Noelle has my whole heart. Honestly, I love her so much, but sadly, I only pulled her once and never got any constellations for her. I loved her so much that even though I have Zhongli on my team, I still have her there with him just because I don't have the heart to take her off the team. I want her to see the whole of Tibet with me. Noelle is terrifyingly strong. She's able to brawl with these churls single-handedly and has difficulty finding a suitable weapon, as most claymore breaks in her hands. But for some odd reason that I have no clue about, she has failed to join the Favonius Knights, which is her dream. So she just currently works as a maid for them instead. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talent. Here are 3 weapons that she works good with: this stone item, Serpent Spine, and the White Blind. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Husk of Opalian Dreams, Sucrose. She's a 4-star Anemo Catalyst. She is an alchemist specializing in bioalchemy. She's also served as an assistant for Albedo, the head alchemist of the Knights of Favonius. She basically only lives for bioalchemy and strives to find the secrets of life. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talent. Here are the 3 weapons that she works good with: the Sacrificial Fragments, this, and the Mare. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Iridescent Rosaria. She's a 4-star pole arm Kaeya user. She is surprisingly a nun, so don't let your cold, not welcoming look fool you. She resides as the Church of Favonius with Barbara, but unlike her, she likes to be the shadows rather than participating in church activities. Secretly, she acts as a purveyor of justice for the church, investigating potential threats to Mondstadt and eliminating them if necessary. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talents. Here are 3 weapons that she works good with: the Favonius Lance, Hessen Peak, and the Staff of Thoma. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, Razor. Razor is a 4-star Claymore Electro user. Razor is one of the OG characters when this game started, and he was considered very powerful. He's known as the Wolf Boy. Abandoned as an infant, Razor was taken in by the Wolf of the North and raised by his wolf pack. After a chance encounter with Varka, the current Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, he has slowly started integrating with humans again through the help of his teacher, Lisa. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talents. Three weapons that he works good with are the wolf's gravestone, obviously, the serpent spine, and the song of broken pines. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the 4-piece pale flame. Jean. She's a 5-star sword anemo user, the older sister of Barbara, and a descendant of the prestigious Gunhilder clan, which was one of the prominent clans in Mondstadt. Jean is the acting grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius. She is always busy handling things like a baddie across Mondstadt and tirelessly working to maintain the city of freedom. She sees Vanessa, who I talked about in this video, as a role model because of her exploit and how she left an impressive legacy behind. She admires her so much that she works tirelessly to maintain her legacy and Mondstadt's safety. Whenever she feels troubled or confused, she often heads to the green tree in Windrise. If you want her, then you are going to have to get your hands on these items to level her up, and you'll need these items to level up her talent. There are 3 weapons that she works good with: the primordial jade cutter, the freedom sworn, and the festering desire. A popular and effective artifact set for her is the 4-piece viridescent mika. He's a 4-star cryo pole arm user. He's a character that I seem to have missed. I didn't see a trail of him or anything, so when I discovered him, I was shocked. He no longer played by the same Genshin rules I remember. He uses a pole arm, but he's so catalyst coded. That could be my own bias though, because he runs around with a book mapping things out since he is a frontline surveyor of the Knights of Favonius reconnaissance company led by Eula. He diligently fulfills all his tasks efficiently and dreams of becoming an expert cartographer in the future. While friends with Klee, he often has to remap due to her explosive altering the landscapes, though he does not mind. He is also Huffman's younger brother and takes care of his older brother when he comes back home drunk, and completes his tasks without complaining or having much issues with them. It seems to be a constant every night thing with his brother to be drunk because he lacks structure in his personal life, but in his professional, he's described as being a hard-working and reliable Knight of Favonius. Personally, I'm mad at Hoffman for that nonsense because while other kids were enjoying their childhood, Mika developed a routine of what needed to be done for his brother because of his brother's own irresponsible actions. On the bright side though, he does have a loving mother and dad who supports his dreams, so that's cool. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talents. Here are 3 weapons that works good with him: the Favonius Lance, the prototype Dark Glitter, and the Black Tassel. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the 4-piece Noblesse Oblige, or specifically any set that can boost healing because he does that too. Check out my video on the healers in Genshin if you want to learn more. Venti. Venti is a 5-star anemo character that is a catalyst. He is a free-spirited, wine-loving bard of Mondstadt, belying his identity as Barbados, the animal archon who is the archon that represents freedom. Venti seems to think it's best to go by the rules since last time the other animal archon oppressed Mondstadt and that caused some big issues. He's the 2nd oldest archon and he considers himself the weakest archon, as they draw power from the amount of control they exert over their respective nations. Even though he looks very young, don't let that fool you when you see him drinking, because he took the appearance of a boy who was his friend that passed away many years ago. He's also one of the archons that actively bashes Celestia and has no fear in doing so. You can also check that out in this video if you're interested more in his views towards them. You're going to have to get your hands on these items if you want to level him up, and these items if you want to level up his talent. 3 best weapons for him is the LG for the End, Skyward Harp, and the Polar Star. Popular and effective artifact set for him is also the Viridescent Dahlia. Dahlia is a 4-star Hydra character that yields a sword and is a very recent character added into the game for Mondstadt. I personally thought that they were done adding characters for a region once we've moved on, but luckily that's not the case. Dahlia was first mentioned in Rosaria's official introduction as the deacon who told Barbara to ask Rosaria to come to the choir practice. He's next mentioned in the description of Rosaria's alternate character outfit. At the request of Sister Victoria, wrote the birthday letter given to Rosaria alongside the outfit. You heard it it right. It's a boy. I triple check. As the herald of Barbados, Dahlia is deeply devoted to Anemo Archon. He subsequently shares a good relationship with him, informing him of any developments and telling the people of Mondstadt his opinion when the need arises. He and Venti often drink together. However, he isn't above teasing Venti over his drunken ramblings and generally treats him more of a friend than the god. Despite his high rank and position in the church and devotion to his god, Dahlia is often bored in his duties and often looks for entertainment. He actively spends his time looking for drama wherever he goes and resolves it at the same time. However, he's also mischievous and admits to being just as good at creating dramas as resolving it, which is a bit funny to see this feisty man walking around seeking havoc as a high church member. That's irony. The guy literally prays for trouble to come his way. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talents. His best weapons are the Favonius sword, the sacrificial sword, and the key. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the 4-piece noblish oblige. Durin. While I was making this video, he came out, a 5-star pyro sword user. Durin was an abyssal dragon created by the alchemist Gold Rhindaughter. 500 years ago, during the cataclysm, he invaded Mondstadt and was slain by davlin. His corpse fell over the mountain of this word, thereafter leading the mountain to become known as Dragonspine. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need to get these items to level up his talents. There are 3 weapons that he's good with. This one, Wolffang, and the primordial Jade Cutter. The popular artifact for him so far is the Oblige. So while I was editing this video, Mr. Varka came out. He's a 5-star anemo claymore user. Interestingly enough, he fights with 2 claymore swords, it seems, which I mean, could we have expected anything less from a man this size and strength? I must say, Genshin has definitely been adapting their male characters to a different demographic, now instead of the same softer designs of their male characters. Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius, known as the Knights of Boars. He's a powerful, carefree leader who departed on an expedition with most of Mondstadt's forces, leaving Jean as acting Grandmaster, who he seems to always run away from. Since we started the game, he's been a Notcry. He was leading the Knights of the Favonius expedition to confront the Abyss and investigate a dangerous secret from the past. His mission was specifically to prevent the spread of the Wild Hunt, a disaster he had foreseen. Now, since he is new, this is all I could pull on what to level him up with, what to level up his talents with. The 3 weapons that he can use are the Gust of the Mighty Wolf, Tidal Shadow, and the Wolf's Gravestone. His popular artifact set is today carved from Rising Winds. So our bonus character is Thoma. By the way, I ship him real hard with Ayaka, so I call Ayaka Kaeya sometimes. So if you hear that slip out, I'm talking about Ayaka, but I call her Kaeya. Okay, so Thoma is a 4-star polearm pyro user. Thoma is known by Inazumans to be a helper, helping everyone out and ensuring that any issues are quickly and peacefully resolved. The son of an Inazuman father and a Mondstadter mother, Thoma shares the traits seen in both nations' people. His father placed a great emphasis on loyalty, while being raised in Mondstadt meant that he could easily mingle with most people. He believes that people should happily enjoy a leisurely life and does not particularly care about his reputation, even if people see ill of him. He originally went to Inazuma to bring his father dandelion wine, but after falling overboard, he ended up in Inazuma with no connections in Nomura. Despite the dangers he faced at the time, Thoma was able to make the most of his situation and eventually obtained Kamisato's clan's trust. He's an efficient worker, resolving all of Kamisato's clan issues in a timely order. You're going to have to get your hands on these items to level him up, and you'll need these items to level up his talent. 3 best weapons for him are the Favonius Lance, Staff of Homa, and the Catch. A popular and effective artifact set for him is the 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. Now onto the monsters roaming around that we were introduced to. These are the first monsters we've ever seen in the game, and apparently there's a lot more monsters on Mondstadt than I thought, so we might speedrun some of this. I guess I wasn't running around enough in the wild to encounter all, and they weren't really given an introduction, so I'll give you one today and I'll share with you the items they drop. So we'll start with the slimes. Slimes are common blob-like elemental life forms that are created from the elemental energy found throughout nature. All types of elemental slimes can be found in the Mondstadt region, though their specific habitats are influenced by their element. So the anemo slimes are found in windy areas like Stormbearer Point and the mountains around it. These guys tend to float in the air and have been exploited by hilichurls, who use them to power air balloons for transporting cargo, which is smart, but I think they're just living their best life floating without bothering anyone unless you show up. They drop these items. Cryoslimes can form a layer of ice on the surface of water. As they move, bigger ones tend to have a shield. You can obviously find them around water or colder areas. These are the items that they drop. Dendroslimes have adapted to hide and ambush their prey by burrowing underground, while the larger dendroslimes can summon smaller dendroslimes to fight alongside them, and they are found in grassy areas. These are the items that they drop. The electroslimes, specifically the large ones, are rare and known as the mutant electroslime, which is bright yellow and can send bolts of electricity to other electroslimes, creating a chain of electric current. You can find them around electric sources. These are the items they drop. We also have the geoslimes. The bigger ones can grow a protective stone and is found in mining areas and caves. They drop these items. The hydroslimes are often found near bodies of water, and the larger hydroslimes can launch bubbles at their targets, which can trap and immobilize them. They tend to drop these items. I'm not gonna lie, I get trapped in those bubbles a lot. You think I'd be smarter sometimes, but I just run straight in brute force and they just get me. The pyroslimes are intensely hot, and the large pyroslimes can launch fireballs, and smaller versions will explode when defeated. They're commonly found in areas with heat sources, and these are the items they drop. The Eye of the Storm is a dangerous opponent that can summon a hurricane spear to deal sustained damage. Try using the wind current generated in the center to swiftly leave the ground. The main way to beat one is with a bow, and I hated fighting these things so much, and I still hate fighting them. So I lack a bow character in my party at all times since I cannot aim to save my life. Animal hypotasis. So I tend to call these hypotasis, okay? But just know I'm talking about the animal, or I'm just talking about hypotasis. I think I said that right. But yeah, hypostasis. Codename Bet. A high purity animal entity. Elemental hypostasis are life forms which have completely abandoned their former appearance and biological structure, making them able to reach the highest level of elemental purity. They're found in this area in eastern Mondstadt, while the Crier hypostasis is located on Dragonspine Mountain in southern Mondstadt. These are the items that they drop. Many common monsters in Tibet, including hilichurls, originated from the cataclysm caused by Conria's alchemist's gold. The people of Conria cursed transformed into the various monsters that now roam Tibet, so we were introduced to hilichurl. While smaller groups are scattered everywhere, the George area is home to the Mondstadt's most prominent hilichurl tribe, the Meaty tribe, Sleeper tribe, who are noted for their above-average intelligence, which they attribute to getting better sleep, and the Eclipse tribe, who are the shamans of this tribe, are especially powerful and are known to worship a symbol of an eclipsed sun, a little bit suspicious. The common hilichurls are hilichurls itself, the most basic and common type, often armed with a wooden club or shield. Hilichurl shooter uses a basic bow to fire elemental infused arrows, including pyro, cryo, and electro types. Hilichurl grenadier throws explosive slimes at the traveler. These can be pyro or electro. Samachurl, the shaman leaders of the tribe who channels the elements. The type you can find in Mondstadt include anemo, geo, hydro, dendro. These are the items that they drop. The elite hilichurls. Mitachurl, large powerful warriors that wield massive elemental imbued weapons, such as clubs or axes. The blazing axe Mitachurl, which is a pyro, and the rock shield wall Mitachurl, which is a geo, are common in Mondstadt. Lawachurl, even larger and more powerful than Mitachurls. Hilichurls can manipulate elements to create powerful elemental armor and attack. In Mondstadt, you can find the rock shield wall hilichurl, which is duo, in some areas. These are the items that they drop. And lastly, for the churls, we have the unusual hilichurl, which is way, a unique passive churl that will not attack unless provoked. Defeating it awards you with cabbages and the small amount of adventure EXP. Nothing else. I tend to mistake this hilichurl for a normal one, and I used to always think that I was just so good at sneaking up on him. That's why he never saw me. I didn't know he was programmed this way, and I was always just like, why this man just have a cabbage? I don't want cabbages. That's all he ever had. Those were typically on my hilichurl rampage situation before I knew like they were Conrians. Now we have the abyss mages. And I hate these little guys when they go on their tall tower, popping in and out, laughing at me with a damn shield on. These little guys just wreak havoc everywhere they go. And when I tell you they laugh, they really laugh at me because it takes me a while to kill these guys. Like they're having fun, just putting me in a bubble and suffocating me up in the air. They're having a good time. For unknown reasons, mages are made to communicate with the hilichurls, thus enabling them to manipulate their minds easily. They say that abyss mages utter a long forgotten language from which they draw magical powers. There are only 4 types of them, and each type has their hands in some wickedness. The abyss order, including a cryo abyss mage, instigated the corruption of the wind dragon Davlin. The mage manipulated Davlin into believing that Mondstadt had betrayed him, which is why Davlin began his rampage. Pyro Abyss Mage named Mr. Fluffball acts as the antagonist in Klee's story quest, True Treasure. After hearing about Klee's reputation for being the strongest in Mondstadt, the mage stole a bomb from her and accidentally blew himself up with it. Cryo Abyss Mage named Emery stole a book, believing it contained secrets. He was tracked down and defeated by Lisa and the Travel. A Hydra Abyss Mage appears during Diluc's story quest. Dark Knight Hero's Alibi. After receiving a threatening note from the Abyss Order, Diluc defeats and interrogates the mage. These little schemers drop these items. Also, since I mentioned Davlin, here's the items he dropped. He is one of the bosses in the game. Rockfond Rift Hound. The appearance of Rift Wolves in Wolvendome is part of the game's story progression. After you complete Razor's story quest, Lupus Minor Chapter Act 1, you can find them in the open fields, particularly on the northwest side of the area. On the way to the arena where you challenge the wolf spirit, Andreas, you'll find both Rockfond and Thundercraven, which is Electro, Rift Hound whelps here. They were also part of the Cataclysm in Conria, and they were the black wolves who attacked the area in the background of Razor's story. Sadly, so we despise them. Here are the items they drop. Let me hit out some of these bosses real quick in Mondstadt, since there isn't much. Andreas, also known as Lupus Boras, is one of the 4 winds of Mondstadt, and a powerful ancient spirit of a god who resides in Wolvendome. He is a significant figure in Mondstadt's history, a weekly boss, and a protector of the wolf pack that raised the character Razor. Now his story is actually real sad, real depressing. My poor little doggy. He's one of my favorite bosses. Over 3,000 years ago, during the Archon War, Andreas, as the god of blizzards, challenged this guy, the god of storms. Andreas Blizzards forced this guy to trap the people of Mondstadt within a storm barrier. However, Andreas ultimately failed to defeat him. After witnessing Barbados' successful rebellion, Andreas realized his power only brought destruction. He realized his powers couldn't sustain life, so he made a sacrifice. Such an honorable little wolf. Andreas chose to let his physical body die. His spirit now watches over the land of Mondstadt, with his power seeping into the ground to nourish it. Barbados heard about the situation and made him one of the 4 winds of Mondstadt. Here's the items he dropped. Several rune guards can be found in Mondstadt, the region, often in remote or historically significant areas related to Conria, the civilization that created these machines. During the Cataclysm, these machines were developed, deployed, or went rogue across Tevat. The rune guards found today are the mass-produced and less powerful remnants of Conria, once great automated armory, which is scary to hear. These are the items that they drop. In Mondstadt, the primary human enemies belong to two main factors, the fatui and the treasure hoarders. The fatui are Snajnayan agents who are a major antagonist force in Tibet. In Mondstadt, you can encounter various units, including fatui skirmishers and other elite operatives. Their activities include political sabotage and pursuing the power of the gods. They tend to get involved and interrupt things. Fatui skirmishers. These common fatui enemies can use elemental shield to defend themselves. Types found in Mondstadt include anemo boxer, electrohammer, cryo gunner, hydro gunner, and the geochanter unit. The fatui Chechen mages. These mages can summon electro or cryo Chechens to fight for them. A cryo Chechen mage is involved in the plot against davlin. Fatui pyro agents, an exclusive elite enemy that attacks with a fiery sword. Here are the ones we see in Mondstadt, and here are what they drop. Now the treasure hoarders. The treasure hoarders are a loosely organized gang of bandits found throughout Tibet. These are the items that they drop. Lastly, we have the mystical beasts. Mondstadt history is intertwined with several mythical beasts, most prominent of which are the four winds appointed by the anemo archon Barbados to protect the region. Two of these four winds are mystical beasts. We have the pyro whopper flower, electron cairo, and these are plant monsters that attack without warning and using their elements to hunt its prey. It tends to drop these items. Cryoregis vine is a monster formed from the vine that was imbued with the essence of biting frost within the ley lines. Some studies suggest that the plants are like the organs of the world, harmonizing the turbulent elemental energies of the ley line. This is the one in Mondstadt, and these are the items that drop. Now I'm going to end the video here on these mystical beasts because there are a few more, but their specific locations are not set in stone because it seems to be a random pop-up on the map where they currently want to reside. I do believe I covered most of the main enemies who tends to make an appearance in Mondstadt. Do tell me below if there are some that I've missed in that area. Either ways, thank you guys for watching. Please do like and subscribe and look at some of my other videos so I can keep making them. Bye!